you're not really happy. You haven't been really happy for a very long time. You've been in a relationship or dealing with this man where there's been drama, there's been nonsense, there's been a lack of fulfillment. Things are just not what they need to be one way or another. He may be a good guy, he may be a bad guy. Either way, he's not the right guy. And I'm going to explain to you why you need to let him go. My name is Stefan Labossiere, aka Stefan Speaks, back with another relationship and dating advice video for women. Again, today we're going to be talking about why you need to let him go. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, and click that notification button. And also leave your comments below. Give me your feedback. So listen, as a coach, I speak to so many women. I see so many women in bad, unhealthy, toxic relationships. And I want to make something really clear from the jump. Bad, unhealthy, and toxic doesn't always mean these traumatic situations, these overly abusive, though that will be on the list that we're going to be talking about. But it even means that, yes, the good guy who you're just not really in love with, that your heart's not there with, that there's a lack of fulfillment and connection existing in that relationship, you are still in the wrong place. And so I want you to understand, whether you are just struggling with a man who isn't doing right by you, or you're with a man who does right, but something seems wrong, you need to watch this entire video, because I'm going to lay out for you why you need to let him go. So let's just get to it. Number one, and this is in no particular order, you make him a better man, but he doesn't make you a better woman. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like that hit a lot of y'all in the gut, because I see so many women in relationships and validating staying in a relationship with a man because of what you do for him, how you essentially level him up, how you have made him into a man in some situations. And that sounds all great. That sounds wonderful. But the reality is that you're not getting what you need. He doesn't make you a better woman. He doesn't truly uplift you. He hasn't shown you a better way. He hasn't helped you evolve into a greater version of yourself. And the reality is that a relationship that is happy and fulfilled and has connection is two people who are able to pour into each other and elevate each other. Two people who are able to bring the best out of each other. So when it's a one-sided affair, something is horribly wrong. But it's not just horribly wrong because of you're pouring so much into him without getting in return. It's horribly wrong because in time, you are going to become drained by this dynamic. In time, what you may discover is that you have set yourself up for a narcissist, because you have set the stage where you will give, and he will start to just take. And he may not even be equipped to give what you need, because he was never equipped, because you got with this guy for the wrong reasons. Now, I'm going to leave that for a different video, all right? But you got to be real with yourselves. So many of you have intentionally dated down. So many of you have intentionally taken on the project, thinking this would keep you more safe emotionally, thinking this would be a more beneficial dynamic for you, but in reality, it is still a problem. You are not happy. You are not getting what you need. And again, I repeat, you make him a better man, but he does not make you a better woman. And the jury can be out on if you're even truly making him a better man, because he's not even learning how to stand on his own two damn feet. You're carrying him on your back. And listen, let me make something very clear. I'm not against building together. I'm not against working together. But let me give this analogy I love to use. It's one thing to have two people building together, where you have the man and the woman carrying the brick together to put it on top of the other brick to build their house. But what many of you are engaged in is you're the one carrying the brick, and this joker is in a lawn chair with lemonade in his hand watching you do the work, telling you missed the spot. All right? Like he is directing you as you continue to pour into the situation, but he does not match your energy. He does not match your effort. And again, that's a problem. You need to let him go, because he's not truly best for you. And honestly, you're not even truly best for him. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but I need you to see this from both sides, because the quicker that you can embrace that, the quicker you can have the strength to walk away from a relationship you don't belong in. And again, I repeat, some situations aren't where the man has been abusive and wrong, or when I say wrong, as he's doing blatantly negative things to hurt you, but he is not the man you need him to be for you to have long-term success in this relationship. You will only be able to go so long carrying the burden of this relationship on your back. And again, all you're doing is conditioning him to believing that you will do it all and he doesn't have to do anything at all. Now, a second reason why you need to let him go is he is disrespectful. Now, I've been trying to give you guys examples where disrespect and abusive is not always a part of the equation, but now I'm going to tell you, if it is, if you're going through that, then you're damn sure that's a reason to let him go. Disrespect, being abusive should not be tolerated. And let me tell you something. The more you allow it to occur in your relationship, the more you have enabled him to continue with this behavior. He has no reason to change if you keep continuing to accept disrespectful behavior. Now, I have to say this. I'm never excusing someone being disrespectful, and damn sure never excusing them being abusive. But please check yourself and make sure you're not the disrespectful and abusive one yourself. Because some situations, yes, let's be real, some situations you as the woman have set the tone of abuse and disrespect. You as a woman are engaging in a back and forth battle of negativity. You do have to check yourself. Again, it doesn't excuse anyone, but you can't be throwing rocks at him when I forgot what the saying is. Forget it. The point is, you can't be a hypocrite. You need to make sure you corrected your behavior. But now with that said, yes, you should not be tolerating and entertaining disrespect and abusive behavior. And if you are going through any abusive relationship, because I do understand it's not always so easy to walk away. And some of you may be fearing for your life. Some of you, there are other things in place that have caused it to be a struggle. And you may be experiencing domestic abuse in your relationship. And I don't want to minimize how hard that is, all right? But I want to give you a resource to tap into. I want you to call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. Let me get the number for you. Call 1-800-799-7233. I repeat, that's 1-800-799-7233. It's the National Domestic Violence Hotline, all right? That is a great resource for you to tap into if you are in that predicament. And I understand you may need additional assistance to get yourself out of that situation. But outside of that, any form of disrespect should not be tolerated in the relationship and needs to be nipped in the bud. And if this man is not going to correct it, as well as you make sure you're not engaging in it yourself, then he needs to be removed. And it's another reason why you need to let him go. So now the third reason why you need to let him go, actually, before I give the third reason, quick plug, get your book, The Man God Has For You. Listen, I'm telling you to let this man go so you can receive this man, so that you can receive the man that is truly best for you, all right? Best-selling book. Women everywhere are getting it, loving the book, thousands of reviews. Click the link in the description or in the comments section and get your copy. So now back to number 3. Another reason why you need to let him go is because he doesn't want the same things as you. So I remember one time I was coaching a client and she was dating a guy and she wanted kids, all right? And this man was adamant that he was done with children. And she, despite me coaching her and telling her, listen, you need to walk away from this. This man's not going to change. She convinced herself that maybe he will change his mind. Maybe she can get him to see the light, so to speak, all right, and want children. Well, fast forward 3 years later, it never happened, all right? Now, I'm giving you one small example, but whether it's kids, whether it's marriage, whatever family values, whatever values and desires you have, if you two do not want the same thing, we don't need to drag this on any further. We just have to come to the realization we're not the right fit. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, Sometimes this can occur with a perfectly good man, quote unquote. He's a nice guy. He's not abusive. He's none of the bad things we've talked about, but he's still not on the same page as you. And I know it can be really difficult to let go of what it seems to be a great guy for reasons like, well, we don't want the same things. For some people, that is a huge struggle, but you've got to understand it's not worth holding on to, because all you're going to do is end up having resentment, having disappointment, having negative things now pour into this relationship that will negatively impact it and destroy it anyway. So you're better off just recognizing we're not on the same path, we're not heading in the same direction. You know what? Let's respectfully walk away and find where we truly belong in life and the relationship that's truly best for us. So if you don't want the same things, or he does not want the same things as you, it is definitely another reason to let him go. So now we got to number 4 on this list. And let me just say real quick, there's going to be a lot more we could talk about. I'm going to stop at like 5 and maybe a bonus. I'm going to see if I want to give you all the bonus. But listen, just know this is just some main points I always feel like I needed to speak about in this video. So number 4 is he makes you a convenience and not a priority. Listen, if we're going to have successful relationships, we've got to recognize that the person that we're trying to build with or we're in a relationship with needs time, needs attention, needs our efforts, all right? That goes for both the man and the woman. And when you're dealing with a man who only wants you to be at his convenience, who is not trying to make adjustments and work with you and making sure you both have what you need in this relationship, then you need to let him go. Now, I understand. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a very successful man. And I understand that there are men out there who their time is more limited than others men, all right? And even though I recognize and acknowledge that, that's still not an excuse to put a woman that he's serious about on the back burner all the time. That's still not an excuse to not try to come to some kind of compromise where you're still getting what you need. Again, he may not, in that specific guy, because everybody's not that guy, but in those situations, all right, he may not have as much availability, but he still has to make you a priority, even if he cannot currently put you above, let's say, his work at the moment, which I'm be honest with you, a man should not put a woman over his purpose. All right. That's essentially putting a woman over God if he is walking in his purpose. So I'm not going to tell a man to make woman a priority over that. But after his purpose, after God, if he's trying to be with this woman, especially if he's trying to marry this woman, then she's right there. All right. She's right after God and purpose. But to me, again, God, purpose go hand in hand. So if he's now bumping you even further down the list, all right, that's a problem. And you should not be entertaining that, because it is a sign also that, is he really serious about you? Is he really into you like that? Is there genuinely a connection here? Because if they're not, what's the point? What's the point of continuing this relationship? All right. So if he is unable to make you a priority, it doesn't have to be the highest priority, but a priority in his life, and only keep you as a convenience, and that is definitely another reason why you need to let him go. And now we get to number 5 on the list. The other reason why you need to let him go is because your intuition has been telling you this is not the man for you. Listen, I am a firm believer in women's intuition. And let me just first give some clarity, because I know a lot of you confuse intuition and fear, okay? To make it simple for today, but we'll do another video just on this. To make it simple, intuition or fear requires logic. Fear requires you to analyze and logically deduct. Well, I can't do this because this might happen. Well, I'm worried about this occurring. I'm worried about this outcome. We're analyzing. We're using logic in our decision-making process, and fear gets the best of us. Intuition requires no logic, requires no facts. Intuition is you could literally be in a room where everything looks great, everything seems pleasant, and your spirit, your intuition is saying, get the hell out of there. It's saying something is terribly wrong. You need to leave. It did not need logical fact to tell you that something was wrong. So understand that you've got to learn how to tap into your intuition. So that's just to give some clarity on it. But many of you already know. You already know your intuition has been telling you this is not the guy. But you have given yourselves all kinds of reasons to rationalize past the intuition and still give this man a chance. And what has happened is the longer you keep a man in your life, or more specifically, believe it or not, the longer you keep the wrong man in your life, the harder it gets to get him out. All right? And so now you become unhealthily attached to this man, where you're just so detached from your intuition now that you don't even pay attention to what it's even trying to tell you, because you're just caught up in, you done gave your time, your energy, you wanted so bad for this to work out. And now you find yourself in essence feeling stuck, all right? But you got to get back to accepting your intuition has been telling you this is not it, and you need to walk away. And then you need to remember, after you let him go, that the next time your intuition tells you this guy isn't it, listen. Don't wait till the 5th date. Don't wait till 5 months later. Don't wait till years later. No, because y'all knew date number 1. You damn near knew conversation number 1, possibly. All right. Like, your intuition doesn't need a bunch of time, because again, intuition requires no logic. It does not need information to be downloaded to say, okay, I think this guy's not going to work out for you. No, it just knows. It ain't here. Walk away. Let him go. So you got to accept that and go on your best path, all right, that your spirit is trying to lead you on. Now, I said I was going to give a bonus, but I'm going to give 2 bonuses, all right, 2 quick bonuses before we wrap this thing up. Bonus number 1, he doesn't talk to you. Bottom line, this man is unwilling to communicate with you. And here's the facts. You can't have a healthy relationship without communication. And I'll see so many people comment on posts that I have about communication, and they'll say, well, what are you supposed to do if he doesn't want to talk? Leave his ass. I'm sorry, leave. Like, what do you mean what are you supposed to do? So you're going to sit there and remain in a relationship with a man who refuses to give you the courtesy of communication? That he can't talk to you at all? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we're not in the mood. I understand. Sometimes, you may not know how to communicate properly and effectively, and you need to improve that. So I don't want to ignore the fact that you may need to improve your communication skills. However, he needs to be willing to talk to you. And the reality is that this isn't even just about the guy who you guys have been together for a while and communication has been a problem, which even if that's the case, we need to do something about this. Either we fix it or we leave. But some of y'all are in situations where this man was never trying to talk to you, never trying to open up to you, never trying to have discussions on how we improve this relationship, how we move forward, where do we stand? None of it. There's no point. There's no point in continuing there. Now, I always say you address the issue, and if it's not corrected, you let him go. So, of course, if you have found yourself in a situation where this man never talked to you, I'm not saying right this second, let him go, even though technically you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. But I would say you make one last attempt. Hey, listen, if we can't get to a place where we can talk to each other, I'm going to have to walk away or end this relationship. And he's still not willing to make corrections, then that shows he doesn't even take you serious. He don't even respect your word enough to believe that you're going to actually pull the trigger. That's a problem. That's a problem. So it is definitely time to let him go. And then the last bonus is there's no connection there. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I know everyone doesn't understand or grasp connection. And I know I always say it needs another video, and I'm going to get to it at some point. But for those of you who understand that deeper connection, all right, if it's not there, then there's no point in trying to continue with a guy. He could be a great guy. He could have a lot of great qualities. But if the connection is not there, the relationship will not last. It will not be fulfilling. It will reach a point where you feel emptiness in this relationship. Many people are able to get far off the initial hype, but once the smoke clears, they realize they're not really into this person like that. They don't really like them like that, all right? And I'm just going to give one example, though, again, I do feel like be careful just taking this one example because we need a full explanation for those of you who don't understand connection. But the example is like going on a road trip with someone. Go on a road trip for like at least 6 hours with them. And in the car, no distractions, no phones, just you and them talking. Let's see, can you get through that road trip actually enjoying spending time with this person? The reality is, there are couples right now, there are married couples who wouldn't make it past hour number one, who would have kicked their behind out the car, all right, 2 hours in, because they don't really like them. And they've only been able to sustain a relationship because they have the distractions to get through it. They have kids, they have work, they have all these other things that allow them to detach from the reality of their relationship that is lacking so many things and lacking that connection that is necessary. So if the connection is not there, that is another reason to let him go. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Some men are just lying, manipulating, no good, good for nothing, horrible people looking to take advantage of you. And the reality is that I do not want you getting caught up with that